Ta-da. You wouldn't want your fingers in there, would you? Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Paul, and in front of us today we've got our 1968 Alfa Romeo GT Junior step nose that we've gave the full Restomod treatment to. The car was designed by a guy called Jaguar at the age of 19. So it's got a scalino front end, which in English means step. So we've got this funny stepped line across the front, and this is iconic to the early cars. Another little bit of quirkiness, the good old Italians, so the wipers go like that. So one's mounted there, one's mounted there, and when they operate, they clear right the way back to the A-post, but they leave a real odd triangle shape in the centre. It's quite cool because if you've got a left-hand drive or a right-hand drive car, there's no change in the wiper system. It's just a real sort of quirky, real complicated Italian way of going around doing the wipers. Where why not just have them going one way and then swap them around the other way when it's in different markets? But yeah, good old Italian quirkiness. So it was a junior, now it's a wild child teenager. Here's what we've done. So to start with, we've put nice big wheels on it. Beneath the wheels, we've got some lovely big 4-pot brakes. And then under the bonnet, we've got rid of the carburettors, we've put fuel injection on with a Cyvex ECU. As we move backwards, we've got a freshly rebuilt 5-speed gearbox. We move to the back of the car. We've then got a limited slip diff. So not only does it go well, it stops well and it steers well. So here we are under the bonnet. Let's go through what we've done. So we've got rid of the little baby 1300 and we've put a 2 litre in. Aesthetically the engines look basically the same, but we're now 2 litre. The untrained eye would say that it's still got a pair of DCOEs on it, but it hasn't. We're running a pair of Genvi Heritage throttle bodies. Everything's all hidden, all the wiring goes on the underside, the injectors poke through the bottom, and then we've got a nice ITG filter on there, and then we wanted to keep the engine bay looking standard to the untrained eye, so we've had HT leads made that mimic the same angle as where the original ones, but instead of there being a mechanical distributor, we've now got a Bosch Motorsport specification coil pack. Obviously modern sensors for the ECU to be able to read everything correctly, and then as we move over below the throttle bodies, we've got a modern high torque starter motor with us running a bit more compression. The original starter motor would struggle to turn it over. We're running a aluminium radiator with it having more power to help keep it nice and cool. A pair of twin brushless electric fans. Onto this side of the engine, we're running a small modern Nippon Denso style alternator to be able to keep on top of the charging. Nice tubular manifolding system to obviously get rid of the gases nice and quickly. On this car, we got rid of all the loose odds and ends of brackets in the engine bay, got rid of the battery box, relocated the battery into the boot. Like I say, got rid of all of the little holes, all of the wiring to the headlights and the cooling fan we've hidden away, so instead of it running down here where it originally would, we've then moved it under the wheel arches, so like I say, it gives you a super clean looking engine bay. We've kept some original features, so like I say, untrained eye would go, oh, it's still a 1300, it's still got its original brakes, so we're still running the original servo and master cylinder setup, but like I say, it's 160 odd horsepower, fuel injection, so it will drive to the moon and back with no coughing, spluttering, no silly chokes to pull out or anything like that. Just the ultimate driving fun B-road car. So here we are in the boot. So what we've done in here is we are using a later fuel injected car fuel tank, which gives you a very small internal swell pot. So we're running a lift pump in the bottom that then lifts out of there, and we've got a larger external swirl pot with a high pressure pump in through a competition specification fuel filter and back down the car to fill the throttle bodies and return back, which goes to the swirl pot, and then a bleed off pipe that then drops back into the fuel tank. As we was on about earlier regarding cleaning up the engine bay, we've relocated the washer bottle into the boot, and then we're running a modern gel-filled race-style battery in a nice battery enclosure with a C-Tech charging point in the front. And we was very surprised to find this, but a full-size wheel fits in the boot as well, so we'll be able to retain and carry a full-size spare wheel. And then the original jack is located in its original place, and the original carpet drops on top of all of this, so it's still got quite a big luggage compartment to be able to carry overnight bags and whatnot. So here we are in the wiring layer. So this is a good example of the bespoke loom that went into the GT Junior. This is actually the loom for the GTV Restomod that we're doing. So nice modern modular fuse box, all nice pretty colours, all circuits split up to give you super reliability. So here at Alficina, we don't just concentrate on giving you a lovely drivable powerful engine, we also look at the finer details. So what we've done inside here, we've retained the original instruments on the car, so tacho, speedo, fuel and temperature and oil pressure. But what we've done is we've had these modernised inside, so we've got rid of the old-fashioned speedo head inside of these, and we've got step motors that all talk back to the ECU through CAN. So all these gauges are actually fed from the ECU and the sensors that are on the engine, so everything's super accurate, so the temperature is as accurate as it can be. We're not relying on real old technology. We have kept some of the little original features like the fast idle and the choke and the choke levers. We've kept, they aren't connected, but we've kept them there just because, why wouldn't you? It's part of the finer detail of the car. And this car came with a really unusual, which I think is absolutely fantastic, period steering lock. Ta-da! You wouldn't want your fingers in there, would you? Shall we go for a little drive then? And then we checked how much motion lotion we've got. Effectively speaking, it's the same intake track as a carburettor, so it does still sound like it's on carbs. What's 30 in kilometres?
About this.
Feels about right. 24. It's still got the old car feel to it, but the suspension's much more precise than it was before. The brakes are absolutely phenomenal. Getting the right gear. The brakes are absolutely phenomenal, but just the power, we're going up a little bit of an hill now, a little bit of a squirt, and we get on with the business. But it's not only a nice quick thing, it's also drivable, so you can pootle around really steady like you would in a modern car, but you've still got your quirkiness of an old car basically. have to be a bit careful because you sort of forget that you're in an old car sometimes, but the limited slip diff does its job. The sticky tyres keep you where you're going, and with the Bilstein suspension and the I-back springs, it's just everything's all just working in harmony together. So originally when it had its 1300 there was around 100 horsepower, so now we've got the 2 litre strapped in there with the fuel injection. We're running about 170-ish. We've still got some final tweaks to do to the mapping, but yeah, that's where we are at the minute. But coupled up with the freshly rebuilt 5-speed gearbox and the LSD, it's just a match made in heaven, really. So I hope you enjoyed our little drive around the Nottinghamshire lanes in the little GT Junior. We certainly did. It always seems like a job when you get the opportunity to drive something around that you've been involved with putting together. I hope you enjoyed our overview into this fantastic creation that we've made, a little bit of an insight into the sort of things that we can do here. Please get in touch if you've got any projects that you'd like us to help you with along the way. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. See you soon.